It's Independence morning in Trinidad and Tobago, so happy Independence Day to you. Right now, I'm walking. I left from my dad and day in Trinity, and I'm heading home in Caura. I just stopped on a express. I wanted, you know how long I haven't bought a newspaper? $4 for a Trinidad Express now. And I had exactly $4 in my pocket. Happy 61st Independence Day. Flags raised. Ghost guns busted. Just 3D guns? Look good, boy. I know you and I haven't spoken for a very long time. So let me tell you a little bit about what I am up to. I am just trying to catch up with life and work. We had an amazing vacation. Thank you very much to everyone who supported the work that we did and commented on the videos and the feedback, etc. So I am trying to catch up now with my programming work, my teaching work around the house, things that I have ignored. I am trying to spend a little less time doing content creation. Yes, I am doing content creation still, but I'm trying to focus on the things that matter most to me when it comes to content creation and life. I start back the gym. So content creation, I may not spend as much time doing Lyndon Batiste raw videos, but I really want to do work where I visit communities and get to see the community through that person's eyes. I am particularly interested in longevity also. So if you happen to know like an old bushman or an old lady, probably somebody over 90, that I could get to see their community through their eyes, maybe they're fit, they're active, please feel free to message me. You can message me at 487-9115 because I'd like to tell more stories about people and the communities that we have in Trinidad and Tobago here. How do I contribute to improving TNT? Prime Minister Caura says Trinidad and Tobago is at a crossroad in an increasingly more difficult world where every citizen should look inward, asking him or herself some deeper questions about their existence. Where are the pavements? I often wonder the same thing because they keep paving the roads, but perhaps without grading it. So right now along Dinsley Road where I just came from, the pavement is as flat as the road. Put parking meters in place. What do you think of Trinidad and Tobago's accomplishments after 61 years of independence? Forged from the love of liberty. Nice stuff. Great stuff. I love my country, you know. I love Trinidad and Tobago. I really love my country. I started looking at a documentary about blue zones in different parts of the world. A blue zone is a place where they have a high population of people over the age of 100 years. So in part one of the documentary, which is available on Netflix, they focused on a place called Okinawa in Japan. And a couple things stands out in the research and I'll share them with you. The people eat a lot of purple sweet potato. They have a philosophy where when they sit down to eat, they would utter a phrase that is the equivalent of, I am going to eat until I am 80% full. In a lot of homes, the people don't have furniture, like seats to sit on. So what they realize is that people who live in that area, when they sit to eat, and maybe they spend an hour every day doing some gardening, they get at least 30 squats in. And there's a high idea of community among the people. Not a digital community, a real world community where people in similar age groups, different age groups would meet Interesting stuff. This is Caura Hospital. I don't know how true it is, but ever since coming up here as a little fella, whenever you see that chimney smoking, Daddy and Lasana would say to me that they're burning dead people there. I think they were pulling my leg, but somehow I still believe it. I think I tell Haley and them the same thing. I think I tell Haley and Anna the same thing. I guess this is one of the quarters where the doctors used to live. There's always, when I see this with the roof caved in and this tree growing out of the middle, it always reminds me of the book, The Alchemist. When I talk in the beginning about the shepherd going into that area, and in the church the roof had caved in and a tree now grew. Where's the altar used to be. That house reminds me very much of that scene in The Alchemist. So what do you think of our accomplishments? What accomplishments? Nigel says crime, poverty, nepotism, economic failure. Suresh about 55 years backward. First meeting for young Maduro since renewed Dragon gas talks. Interesting. ANC Bridge struggles. This is about restoring dignity to the Begonians. Are we better off? Absolutely not. Afro-descendant women lead fight for equality, justice. Electricity usage spikes as heat soars. A good friend of mine called me. Told me how they stole his car last week. You know what's the thing, boy? That guy has a newborn baby. I just passed a senior, old fella as we can say in Trinidad, walking, and ask him how far he tries to walk and how often. He's trying to do 8 miles every day. Oh, that's another thing with the documentary on what I'm saying, I'm talking to myself. Here. Good to see you. All going to Caura River?
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself, right?
Yeah.
Alright, nice. What's your name? Hold on. What's your name? Andy? Alright, so big up Andy and Karen. Yes. Shogonas? Alright, nice. Big up Andy and Karen who going to Caura River today. It's Independence Day and things starting to pick up in Caura, man. A string of about 12 cars just passed me. So yeah, this other place, this other blue zone, I think it's somewhere in Italy. And it's a place called, I think it sounds like Sardina. But there's something about the village that contributes to the longevity of it. And that is the steepness of the village. How steep the roads are. And everybody walking. We talked to a lady about 96 years old. She going to church every day. And the church on top of a steep hill. So squat more, walk more, spend more time in your garden, on the land. I trying to do it too. Well, I'm surrounded by bush, so really and truly if I don't do it, I just pay a heavy price. In terms of maintaining the different lots that it have up there. Shout out to the Buttis family. Shout out to my grandfather and grandmother. All in around to see this. But your descendants are reaping the rewards of your work.
More mental thing than an actual physical reality.
Independence is more of a mental thing
Than a physical actual reality.
Alright, sir. Have a nice day. Yeah, man. Yeah, buddy. As a human, there's a part of me that feels sorry for myself. You know? I'd go to the doctor and find out an excuse for really hard exercise, 30 minutes for the daily. You sure I could take the stress I exercise and walk? When I think about men, like in olden days, I mean, we still have them today. Men like Farmer Harry, Mr. Bat, others I haven't met as yet. But you think about men like from Alexander times. The men conquer nations by walking. And I'm not focusing on the conquest here. I'm focusing on the walking. Them fellas real walk, boy. Real walk. Why do I feel so sorry for myself? Maybe it's a bit of laziness, I don't know. But one of the things that I really take from the documentary is how often people squat, how often people walk, no furniture in the house to sit on. One of the practices, of all the practices, the one that I plan to adopt is sitting down on the floor. I know I'm walking on the wrong side of the road. Forgive me. Whew. That was a close one. I believe that apart from your spiritual inclination, a real good part to independence is true creativity. I think there's a certain amount of peace and joy that you get through creativity. And when you pursue creativity, you end up somehow investing in things that are worth it. Nobody had to change the music that they listen to, you know. Nobody had to necessarily change what they look at. Unless you're looking at too much of porn. But you know, just spend time wondering how something that you enjoy watching or consuming, how is it created? And I think that's one of the pathways to independence. I wonder if Kim cook for me, boy.